Hello, 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 people. I hope everybody is well. Welcome to our Thursday Land Pilot Q&A call. I hope everyone is doing well. We have here on Zoom Mario and Paul already arriving. I think there's other people coming. Look, like Paul has the freshest haircut, right? And Mario has the freshest beard, right? Like this is what it is, dude. Like so we have like two amazing looking guys here on Zoom. So if you're not in our Zoom session, this will be a Q&A session on the beginning, and today will be um my take on 2026, right? And we're going to talk today about one thing. I think land isn't dead. It's just the old playbook is, right? And this is what we're going to talk about. While we're waiting for some people to join us here on Zoom, why don't we do this and just say, Paul, how are you today?
I'm good, brother. Another day. Wrapping up the end of the year, just trying to tie up any loose ends and
Don't hear you.
plan for the new year.
Sorry, I just lost my audio. What did you say?
Yeah, just tying up loose ends for the end of the year, trying to
I know
take
that Paul had a big win, right? Because you have your racetrack almost financed, right? 25 million was the total race, and you're almost
yeah,
there, right?
we're getting close, man. It's not easy.
Not easy. But when it would be easy, right? Like then everybody could do it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What it is. I love that. I love that. Cool. Okay. So let me just see. Mario, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. Great to see you. Great to be here. Uh,
Good to see you
exact-
too,
al-
man.
Also, preparing for Christmas. Always a challenge a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Are you staying in the States or are you heading to Austria?
No, I stay here. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes it a little bit easier, but on the other hand, you also have to organize something here. So in Austria, I can outsource it to mom, but here it's not possible to outsource.
Yeah. That's what it really is, right? So I love that. That's so cool. Good guys. So let's get some stuff rolling here. Can you just do me a favor? Can you say one more thing, Mario, that I just check if the audio settings are right here?
Yeah. So can you hear me? So
Okay,
we
perfect.
can hear you perfectly.
Okay, great. I don't know. My AirPods stopped working today. Maybe it's time for Santa Claus to get me some new ones, right? Like it's the second period this year that I probably wore through, so they're not for high intensity. With that said, guys, let's dive into that, and I'm gonna give you my take about 2026 and land isn't dead, but the old playbook is. And let me start this off with something that's pretty maybe uncomfortable for the one or other, right? If land investing really feels harder right now, then it's not because you're bad at this. It's because of one thing, the rules have changed over the past 12 months drastically, and nobody has really updated the map, right? And I promise you something, by the end of the call, you'll understand why most land investors stuck and why a small group is quietly winging. So if you like that, drop like a little thumbs up or whatever here in the chat. So let's jump into that. What's going on right now in the land industry, right? Um, I I was spending a lot of time this year just really thinking about and talking to a lot of people. What is going on? Why are deals not happening in the way that they were happening 2 years ago? And like the major things I was seeing, like where people were complaining about were first, and the major thing, sales are slow, right? Deals that were used to move in like 30, 60 days now sit for like 6 or 9 months, right? And like nobody was really prepared for that. Like people that were doing deals for years in certain areas were suddenly sitting on their deals for like a long kind of time. And what that really did to them is that it that causes problem because now you pour something out of your business that's highly needed and that's cash, right? And it also messes with you psychologically, right? And you just don't have enough money to proceed business anymore. So what's getting away is confidence and decision making because suddenly you doubt yourself. Hey, is that what I'm doing still the right thing, or am I just doing it wrong, right? And talking and watching the market on a lot of people, there was a second point in this. A lot of people stuck right now in analysis paralysis because of that. The confidence level is not high. Deals are not coming in. They're not moving as they should be. And you have deals, you don't move them. And what they try to do is to figure out what's moving on. And then they go from webinar to the new next shiny object to the new next shiny object, watching all the people that are crushing it, right? And in the end, they don't do shit. They complain about all the things, but they don't go there where it really works and they don't do anything, right? That's like one of the biggest pain points right now that I was seeing in land investing. The people don't move because they're just scared of making the wrong move, right? Because it's a bunch of changes, right? We had like a lot of technology entering our marketplace in the last 12 months, from AI agents that qualify leads to AI tools like the land portal and land insights and whatever that give you a lot of like data from other AI tools nobody has ever heard of to other AI systems. Everybody gets crazy and everybody sees like with the slow sales things like, hey, fuck, my shit is not working no longer. So what do I need to do is I need to change strategies. But before they change strategies, they get so much education that they never do something. The next thing what came was that is like there's a lot of market confusion, right? Like I mean, Texas, Florida, North Carolina were like the hottest markets probably for the past couple of years. And what a lot of people are seeing right now is that these markets are frozen, right? Like even when you get a deal right now, I don't know, here in Dallas, Texas, you don't move it like in 30 days anymore, like you were used to be. Or when you have a deal in Florida, like in Tampa or wherever, the deal is stucking, right? And people are spending a lot of dollars to get these deals because I mean the problem is also that the sellers in this market are super educated and now we spend a lot of money on marketing but like don't get any return. Meanwhile, you see people crushing deals in markets you would never thought about, like Michigan, Wisconsin, I don't know, Indiana, like really markets that are there. The next thing I'm seeing is right now in this industry, there's just too much information out there, right? YouTube says one thing, gurus say another thing, podcasts contradict the next thing, right? Everybody is preaching that what I do is the best thing in the world, right? And this is where people get stuck in paralysis analysis because they're like, fuck, like, what should I do? Should I do distressed title? Should I do subdivide? Should I do entitlements? Should I do this? Should I do that? Right? And then what gets with that is all the information doesn't bring anyone anything when we don't take action, right? And the last thing that I was realizing is that people feel lonely right now, right? They're on all these calls, they're like making all these decisions about their business alone, but they do them alone at the house at the kitchen table and don't have time to talk to anyone about this. There is no peer groups, right? There's online communities and all that, but there's no real communities where they do that together. So, and what I want you to be honest is like, where are you standing right now, end of 2025? What were the things this year where you were struggling with, um, which were hitting you the hardest was like the new market reality that is really, really there, right? And, you know, I think it's really, really tough to be in that spot because it's like so much impacts in the same time from so many directions, right? Higher interest rates from the Fed, like the market that's related to real estate, hardly really hard affected by that. It's it's technology, AI. Like everybody's just talking about AI, right? Like we forget, like AI is still a tool that we use, at least today, right? Like it's not like the world, right? It's like not running the world, at least not now. Maybe it will one day, but right now it doesn't, right? So um, just go a little bit into there. And what I really want to do is let's shift that a little bit, right? Because land investing itself isn't dead. All these things happened, but in the same time, there's a lot of people that are still doing deals, that are still wait, let me just like switch that on here again. There's a lot of people that are still doing deals, and this higher interest rates, they didn't kill the market, right? Like it just killed a certain deal type in the market, right? What they really killed is they killed lazy exits, right? Because the slower markets right now, they reward certain things. They reward professionality. They reward professional operators. They reward when you get better at acquisitions. They reward when you get better at exits, right? And they reward when you get better at follow up. So, what really happened here is that the whole land industry itself, I feel very much is maturing right now into being a real business. When you compare land investing to house wholesaling, right? Land wholesaling, house wholesaling, that's always a comparison we have. Then it's when you look in the house industry, like these operations are run like real operations, right? And we are complaining about competition in land. You have never been in the house wholesale industry, right? They're just faster paced, do more, do stuff and get their stuff up and running. And this is what happened in land too. We just need to be more professional. We need to actually start treating this as a business. The times where we can just send a couple of mailers, wait until the phone rings, call back 3 days later, send our offer a week later, never follow up and wait for the seller to call us back, they're over, right? Because now what you really need to do is to stay on top of your stuff because on top of um, this lower markets and all the hard facts, there's also another thing in marketing going on. It's called the trust recession, right? So people don't trust trust what they see anymore, right? They don't trust advertising anymore. So because and they have an attention problem too because there's so much going on. They get bombarded with advertising, with messages, with YouTube, with whatever it is. So they trust everything less and they have too much information. So what we really need to do is to step up here, right? Um, because we can't run this like a hobby anymore, right? This market punishes hope and reward system. It really punishes when you just like hope to get a deal, when you think doing a little bit is enough. No, it's not anymore, right? The old model was really like you send some cheap mail, do some blind offers, do a fast resale. In today's world, you really need to dig deeper into that. You need to really make research about what markets do I go into. You need to test these markets, decide in which markets do I go deeper, in which markets do I do more, right? Decide to not only do like maybe like one piece of acquisitions, which is mail. You maybe want to do mail and texting and call calling, whatever it is, because you need to tighten your buy boxes here, right? So you want to go in really good markets, tighten your buy boxes, like really tighten what do you want to sell, right? There's a different couple of different strategies and you need to define that. You can't like go out there today anymore, pull a county list and see what comes back. No, define the outcome you want to generate, right? Like I want to make like a $40,000 profit deal. Okay, then that deal probably needs to have at least $120,000 sales price and a $60,000 purchase price because you'll have some costs that you make $40,000. So what you shouldn't do is to hunt $50,000 deals. You need to hunt $120,000 deals, right? You need to define that and then have multiple exit strategies, right? Like maybe it's not just a straightforward flip. Maybe it's sometimes you need to put a mobile home on there and you need to have a partner for that. And maybe you need to subdivide or entitle it, right? So what you really need today is flexible exit strategies and really great systems supporting you to do more. right? So in the very end, like today, what you need to ask yourself, like if you would have a better system that like follows up for you, does stuff for you, and would have better support, would you be doing more deals? And that's, I think, a yes or yes question, right? So let me introduce you to the bold build concept, right? Bold build doesn't mean you guess. You don't hope. You don't operate alone, right? The three pillars of this is clarity, proximity, and execution support, right? What do I mean by that? Let's go into clarity a little bit. Clarity is about getting into markets you understand by testing which are the markets that you need to understand. Clarity is about dealing with numbers you trust. That's a huge confusion I see. People are coming with different exit strategies to us, right? Or with different lots to us. And 90% of the time, these lots are priced too high. People are second guessing their evaluations because they don't trust their numbers anymore. So in the bull business, land business, what you really need to do is you need to learn to trust your numbers and create those numbers you trust. Also, whenever you get in a deal, you want to have a clear exit strategy before you buy a deal, market a deal, when you wholesale or subdivide a deal or entitle a deal. You know, I get a lot of times, oh yeah, we could just subdivide this deal. Yeah, we probably can. It's easy to get a survey and subdivide it, but does the market support that? Is that asset type we're producing the right one for that market? What is stuff selling for? Is all the requirements for a subdivide like in that county? Is it just like filing a plat map or what is it? Right? So you want to really define on every deal what you're going to do once you own it or once you're going to throw it in the market. And you know, every one of us has an acquisition strategy, but who of us has a disposition strategy? Everybody knows, okay, I can do call calling and I can do texting and do that and that and that to get a deal. But do you also have like, and most of you probably have a great plan for that, but who has on the back end a good disposition strategy? Ask yourself that because that's required. It's an acquisitions dispositions business and not an acquisitions stop business, right? So that's a clarity pillar. The second pillar is proximity, right? You want to be close to people that are doing deals right now, right? You want to get into communities where people are actually in the same level where you are, and you want to see them moving and watch what they are doing. Because it's all great watching YouTube videos from gurus. It's all great, like listening to all this podcasts, right? But what you really want to do is like you want to be surrounded by people that are in the same level where you are and in the same level where you want to go. And maybe there's a couple of people that are already there that you learn what challenges do they have right now and today. Because when you're just starting this out, right, you have completely different challenges than somebody that is already 4 or 5 years in and runs a $5 or $10 million operation. You have complete different obstacles every day than that person because that person went through that obstacles already and the solutions they have today for you, right, that they present for themselves are not the solutions that occur for you today, if that makes sense. So, um, in the bull land business, what you really want to do is you want to get into a group where people are where you are and can talk your language. The third pillar of this is execution support. Systems are more important than they have ever been because otherwise you can't do volume. We would agree that we need to do more to do a deal today. Who would agree on that? There are some people here in Zoom. Just raise your hand. Yeah, we have your one hand, two hands, and a couple of resignated faces. Right? Now, systems are super important to support you um, in multiple ways. And the first systems you should build out right now are systems that help you with follow-up, right? That help you with, because everybody's talking about we need more deals, more leads, you need to send more marketing, but that's half of the truth. The second half of the truth is that you also need to have really great follow-up systems that help you, right? Um, the second thing is the more you systematize your business, the more volume you can do, the more deals you will do too. So what you really want to have here is you want to have partners or in-house help that builds your business systems in form of CRMs, in forms of SOPs, in forms of whatever that is, because these systems will help you handle the volume. What goes along with that is you want to have any kind of an accountability partner, right? Like somehow when you say, hey, this month I'm going to send out 5,000 letters and do a, I don't know, 5,000 leads launch control campaign, you want to have somebody that holds you accountable, right? That says, hey, did you do like your 5,000 thing campaign? How many did you do today? Hey, I want to make 100 offers this month. Okay. Hey, how many offers did you do today? How many did you do this week? Find yourself a great group of accountability people, right? Also, build different exit strategies through your network, right? How do I mean that? Doing subdivides, doing entitlements, doing mobile homes, doing even owner financing, right? Can be a lot. It's complete different business models. When you run a subdividing business with John Jasnik here, I think 2 weeks ago, you need to have a complete different infrastructure set in your company than when you run the land flipping operation. It operates on complete different rules, on complete different things. So um, um, it's not like that we just do like something. We need to do that. We need to do everything in house. No, when you get deals, what you want to have is like a handful of exit strategies, what you could do with them. And one of them is maybe a flip. This is what you maybe can do in-house. But one of them could be a mobile home thing. So maybe you want to have a mobile home guy in that area, like where you do deals, right? Like network with these people. Maybe you want to network with the developer in that area. Maybe you want to network with people that do subdivides in that area. Call them up and say, hey, I do deals here. Like when I have a deal, can I work with you? Like, what do you require? Right? That's like really the execution support you need, these three layers, right? Like systems, accountability, and help when deals get weird, right? Because they always do, and sometimes it requires more, right? Um, every successful business I've ever seen in my career had one thing in common. Proximity to people who were already winning. So this is what you really want to establish, right? Like through this. You know, what I see a lot happening in the market too is like there's a lot of coaches right now and there are a lot of courses, right? And a lot of you guys probably have bought a lot of courses like I have. Like I have a folder here in my Google Chrome. I think there's 150 online courses I bought through my lifetime. Is in there, right? From every single thing, right? You know how many I watched of those? Yeah. Mario says three. Like, what do you guys think? Type it here in the chat. Like, what do we have here? There were some questions. We do questions in the end. Three for land, five, 4 to 5. Guys, I have never watched one of these online courses in my whole life. Bought them, but they're just stuck in there, right? And you know what? Why? Because courses don't fail. And there's probably parts of you that have watched courses, but I think everybody here is guilty of buying a course that you never watched, right? And I think they fail because the information is bad. There's a lot of valuable information in these courses, but They fail because people don't use them, right? And we want to get that education we do here online in a better place, um, to just provide the information in a better way for you too, right? So we're creating right now our Facebook group into a school concept for building this proximity with our audience, right? Because we will create a space to really create momentum for you guys and to keep you rolling. Because I see a lot of people struggling, and what we really will do there is let's share wins together. Let's get accountability together, and let's get feedback loops together, right? This is like the thing we will create there, because we will over there not just provide you all the information about deals. What we are really building over there is a deal hub. We want to bring you moving again, and we will give you the information almost for free, right? Like, so just like whatever you need to get deals going, we're going to do it over there in school. And we decided to do that and not just launch a course to tell you what's going on and what's working and what's not working. We decided to build a concept because community is that what you need to build accountability and to build these peer groups to really achieve something in life, right? I mean, there's a reason why all this like top coaches like Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, all that run masterminds that cost tens of hundreds or hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. It's because, and people buy that, they don't buy that because of all the information. They buy that because of the groups they get into. So um, we will not just teach land. We want to do deals together. We want to do more deals. We're set up to do more deals in 2026 than we have ever done. And what you can watch there is real decisions being made in real time, right? Like we'll have the comps calls live there. We will have deal feedbacks live there. I will make every week a deal breakdown that we actually did in the last like couple of weeks. How we got into that deal, what were the things, the hiccups, like that you really learn like to get over the complicated stuff because the easy stuff is not available anymore, right? And this will be like the land pilot deal partner lab, and because we just want to have one central place where everything lives, right? Like our members here in the autopilot community, they know, oh, which Zoom link do I need to click on to get where, right? So we just centralize all of that in one point. So everyone that's in the autopilot is happily invited to join us. We're gonna get out there, but there will be everything there: training tools, deal reviews, and live conversations, right? So if you're really serious about doing deals in 2025, 2026, doing it alone will be the slowest path. So I will welcome you to really come into school, right? And work there with us because I will be there all the time because I just like doing deals, right? So if you're really serious of doing this and you want to have a place where I really explain you why the market why the market is shifting, why deals are broken, why they will not work live, right? This is the majority of the work. Like literally today, we had our weekly meeting and we were talking like through four deals, and two of them fall just apart after a deep due diligence that we did, or need to be renegotiated because that's a reality too. Like a lot of the deals we're getting are just not good deals, and that's by the way a reason why they're not selling, right? Because we think then we can sell that for 120, but suddenly we find out because about the reality that is there that they're just worth 60, and we're going to break that down. So it's like no more guessing alone, right? It's just get in there. There's no pressure, no hype. It's just like let's build like a community where we just discuss deals together, and this is what it is. You don't need to decide anything tonight. You don't need to get in there. It doesn't cost any money. Just like um, Musaf has dropped a link here in the chat. Just register for the wait list because we're going to launch it next week, right? So let me wrap that up. What I was talking about today was really, I think in the next year, when you want to have success in land, you need to mature your operation, right? It's you need to really think, how can I make a more systematized or systemized outreach happening on scale and can follow up with these people long enough? And how can I do that often enough? So you need to think really about resources. How can you create enough resources that you can keep this running? Because there's another thing, you will not get paid in 30 days or in 90 days anymore. What you're building about the next um, in the next 3 to 6 months will probably pay you in 6 to 9 months in today's market, right? And this is how you need to think about this. It's like everything you're building today will give you money in the future. So what you need to focus on is like, how can I make sure that I'm still there in the future? And I hear a lot, hey, I just need this one deal to close, or oh yeah, then I can do something. That's not the right thinking. You need to see when you really commit to land, you need to commit long term because otherwise there will be no commitment. So see how you can find resources that help you to really get an operation rolling. And that can be multiple ways, right? That can be, hey, I work for another land investor as an acquisitions manager, for example, right? You make money while learning the business and getting better on the phone. That can be, how can I get business credit for my company? To apply for any kind of business credit cards, to pre-finance funding for marketing and tools, right? That can be, hey, maybe I need to make a business plan and talk with some family and friends. How can I finance the next 6 months to go through there? And then it's like when you have that lined up, make the decisions who you want to work with, right? Like where do you get the information out to really make a killer thing? There's really a lot of valuable resources out there. And if you want, we can be one of them in the Land Deal Partner Lab, right? Like we just really will give you a lot of advice on deals, and a couple of people here that are on our calls, on our comms call, that are part of the autopilot program. Would you say like the comms calls and like our deal calls are good calls where you learn a lot about how to do deals and how to think about that? Yeah, we have a lot of nodding people here, right? And this is what it is. So, and then last but not least, find a group, be part of a group, no matter if it's our group, right? Find a group that supports you, because when you're sitting in front of your screen and you can come on like 5 Zoom calls a week and you don't have people close to you that support you on your journey, you will probably burn out and never get rolling. So,
I think it's invaluable, Robin.
huh?
I think it's invaluable because we're doing real world work rather than hypothetical coaching.
Yeah,
That's the
that's what it
value, and
is.
that's the greatest value you could ever have.
Yeah. It's like, this is how I always envision this company is like doing deals together. And is it easy? No. We still need to do the work. Everybody of us. I need to do the work every day, right? Like, but it's easier when we do it together and have people on your side that somebody sometimes like kick your butt. Gene is on this call here, so I can't cuss here, right? Um, right, that sometimes kick your butt, like get that dying. So if this resonated, check out the link. Musaf just like dropped in here. Just get it's a wait list right now. We'll inform you when we launch that app. Let's do deals together next year, guys. We are here to set up. We're here to support you with evaluation. We're here to support you with all kinds of stuff that you need. And we build really everything that you can operate better, right? This is not theory. We do that every day. So let's gonna get over to this. And with that said, guys, 2026 can be an awesome year when you really treat your business as it is, like a business and not like a hobby farm, whatever. You need to have resources, you need to have commitment to do what you need to do, and you need to focus on that what's most valuable, right? And that's like really spending time on the phone with sellers, getting deals under contract, and really try to make deals happening. And it will happen for this one when you're in a really good group. Um, with that said, it's 5:35. I think I said everything that I wanted to say, so I'm gonna open it up now for Q&A. and say thank you. And let me just like share my screen here. So, and if you're like somewhere here on the socials, just like get over here to Zoom. We're going to drop the link. Um, yeah. Do we have any question? There was a question in the chat, right? Like Adam asked that. Give me the top 6 most common dispo categories for my systems approach for strategies. Give me a list. That would be useful for me today. I mean, in the
Or
very,
8 or 10, or like, we kind of have some general ideas. Hey, we're going to do a double close innovation. We're going to do seller financing. We're going to subdivide the deal. We might even do, we might even buy a big parcel at a certain level, but split a profit above that, do a profit sharing, right? So I just kind of need a breakdown of, you know, a
I mean, in the
scalable.
end, you mentioned like the most common ones, right? Like double close and novation is that, and assignment are like probably 3 things, right? Like, and they're almost the same thing, like from the theory, just a contractual situation, right? When you want to dispo, when you want to think about that, of course, you have like a cash flip, like buy cash and sell it cash. You have owner financing, right? Um, you need to define, um, of course, note selling should be like something in here, right? That comes with it,
Yeah,
right?
like the full, exactly, like the full like
I gave
spectrum.
it to you right now. Subdivides, major and minor, entitlements, um, zoning changes can be an exit strategy. Um, Leasing can be an exit strategy, like timber leases, agricultural leases, hunter leases. Um, you can have a mobile home value add or like any kind of a structured value add. You can anyway have like a value add thing, right? What a value add can be multiple things. It can be clear the property, fence the property, put a tiny home on the property, add
Yeah, and there's
utilities to
RV
the.
parks, and there's RV parks which are like recreational, which are not the same as mobile home parks, right? That's another one.
Yeah, but you want to have strategies that you do, or you want to have strategies like because an RV park, you don't do a land project anymore.
No, you don't. That's
Like it's
development.
like that
Yeah.
would fall for me fall in the entitlement category because probably you need to title it at that point, if that makes sense.
Yep. No, I'd love it. I'd love a kind of a just a flow sheet on that a little bit, just a little bit of something just
I
to
just gave it to
categorize
you
it.
right
Got it.
now. Did you
Yeah,
write
you
it
did.
down?
You did. I'll have to extract it. I didn't write it down, but I'm gonna go back on the video. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Uh,
that's what it is. Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
And all of these exit strategies, by the way, have a different kind of an underwriting, right? Like always be aware of that. Everything has risk reward. Everything can be a different business model, right? Like this is like what comes with that too. Like, like you don't want to, and this is what I meant earlier, like you want to have probably partnerships on a lot of this exit strategies. So instead of doing it in-house, find a partner that does it and partner with them and make the profits together, right? Because when you need to, I think you need to make a decision. Do you want to be a land flipper, right? That and what is the core asset of a land flipper is getting access to deals. Does that make sense? Like getting control of deals somehow. Well, I think when you master that craft, when you really get access to deals on a scale in certain markets, become a market expert with certain partners there, right? What you can do then is work with a partner network on the dispo backend that you serve deals because an entitlement person is not a specialist in getting deals because they are doing entitlements, which is a business by itself, right? Like, or I mean, right now, like this land home packages are everywhere, but you need to work with a licensed mobile home dealer or manufactured home dealer in most of the cases to make them happening. So you probably want to have one in that area you're working that you then serve the deal and maybe you split the profits with them before you become a mobile home dealer because in that moment you're not a land flipper anymore, you're a mobile home dealer, right? So being a land flipper, and this is what I mean was maturing, right? It's no longer just like get it under contract and sell it like somewhere. No, it's like really get it under contract, then decide what you do with that and have this the exit strategies in place. And like your simplest one is like always a land flip, right? Like, or a wholesale, right? Even in the current market, especially when you do bigger deals, wholesales can be pretty dangerous because the problem is in the current environment where we are in, when you're not in a hot market, when you're in a slower market, you will probably do a bunch of deals that you will never execute because the market is just too slow to close within your contract time, right? That doesn't mean wholesale doesn't work or land flipping doesn't work. That just means, hey, like this one strategy doesn't work as great right now as it was like 3, 4, 5 years ago, right? Maybe that comes back when the market picks up. Wholesale will be a valuable exit strategy anymore. And it's a preferable one too, because wholesale has the lowest risk profile, right? It has a really high failure quote because something can go wrong, right? Buyer goes nuts, seller goes nuts, title company goes nuts, realtor goes nuts, somebody else goes nuts, and you don't really have control. You just have like an interest, right? Um, but um, it's still like an exit strategy that works, right? Like when you are in the right market. And I think the better and harder and faster the markets are, the better like this whole double close thing and assignment thing works and novation thing, right? If that makes sense.
It does. And is there any guardrails on these? I know the market changes.
You need to just be prepared for that, right? Like have the right partnerships. I mean, we like the network we have on execution strategies, like that didn't come overnight. And do we do entitlements in-house? No, for sure I don't do entitlements because I don't have project managers and engineers and like people that are specialists in that. No, I don't have that. But I have the right network of people that I built over many years that help with that and that are specialists, and they are really grateful when we bring a deal because they don't know how to get deals, right? Same for subdivides, right? Like these people, like when you do a major subdivide, it's a real project because it's not just, oh, let us build a road. Hey, dude, like you need to go through council meetings like most of the time. When you build a road, you just like don't clear the trees out. You most of the times need engineering. You need to make decisions like, is it an asphalt road? Is it like a caliche road? Like what kind of road do we need to bring in? Oh, when we make a subdivision, do we need to bring in utilities? Do we need to bring in electricity? Do we need to bring in water? Like like it's not that easy. And the question always is, where do you want to spend your time, right? That's like a huge thing. Like people see, I think, completely wrong a lot of times. It's like when you make a decision to do something, it's a prioritization over something else, right? You made the decision to show up on this call. That means you're probably not watching TV right now, right? Like maybe you do at the back end, right? But it's like you prioritize to be here to learn something over just hanging out and do Netflix and chill, right? And this is what everything in life is. Wherever you spend your time, you prioritize that. And I think when you want to go in 2026, you need to see how do I prioritize my time? Where do I spend my time, right? A lot of people I see like that are doing that a little wrong, I would say, right? Because um, they think I need to spend my time here, but the reality is like I should spend my time there, right? There was a really nice thing. I don't think I find it, but like there's this pyramid where you really should spend your time, right? Like, and you always want to focus on that what really brings you money, right? In that moment where you are. Like you always want to focus your time on that things that really make you money and not on that things that don't make you money, right? And this is like just the reality too. When you really prioritize, you will need to say no to a lot of things because when you commit to your business, that doesn't mean that like and everything else is more important than that, then you will not be successful because we need to run land investing as a business operation in the next year, and that was already this year the case.
My gut check is that this is a Pareto principle
Hmm.
that it's an 80%, yeah, we flip lamp. There's 20% of bigger deals that have a higher upside potential that have the ability to have enrichments and enhancements through entitlements, subdivides, mobile home parks, and they're a little bit more outside of the normal purview, but the bulk of what we do is still flipping, I believe.
I think the bulk of what we do is getting access to deals.
And I think so. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
You're not
so it's
wrong.
like this is like really what land flipping is. And does a subdivide guy use same tools we use, but in the end they make money on subdivides, on identifying opportunities and working these opportunities and spending their time there. While we in the land flipping business make our business around getting more opportunities. It's the amount of action that compounds in the land industry, like in the land flipping industry, the compound of actions over time that build your business, right?
Specializing, some people are going to specialize, but we have our bulk, and it's really action.
Yeah, I think, the fastest way to revenue in land is doing like wholesale and like, the fastest revenue, and it's a lot of work, is doing assignments and working with builders. So call 20 builders, 50 builders, get their buy box, and then hunt down sellers, make them an offer 15, 20% under market value, right? And then sell that to the builders. But that's a lot of work, right? Because you now need to call builders, you need to get through, talk with them, and all of that. And nobody wants to do that, by the way, right? Like, but hey, this is the fastest way to cash in our business. This is signing stuff because this build is close in 40 days and you get paid, right? The second fastest way in the land industry is to build like a land flipping business that wholesales or flips, right? Like wholesale, probably a little faster, or just novations, or however you cover that up, right? Like, but that does wholesales, novations, or flips because it's not a lot of complexity required to make that happening. You just need to be in the right markets that are fast enough. Does that make sense? So
It
faster
does.
markets, you faster you get paid. And I think when you then go down this rabbit hole, then we're probably in like mobile homes, land home packages, something there that pays you slower, but like it will pay you probably a little bit more. Then you go into subdivides, right? That can sometimes be sold out in 3 months, but sometimes it can also take 2 years, right? Paul, what is your Tennessee deal like sold out meanwhile? No? Like how long are you into there? 12 months, 18 months?
I, I don't even know how long it's been now. It's a nightmare. The entire market shifted from what it
Yeah.
was when I first started it. So, you know, I'm at a point where do I sell it at a discount and just break even or below just to get out of it? The issue is when you do that, now you get all the crackhead people, and it's like you're devaluing your own project on purpose just to get out of it. So,
But that's a real risk thing, right? Like, the higher the paydays, the more the reward is, the higher the risk is too. Like when
right.
you look what the really experienced entitlement guys are doing right now, they are so restrictive on buying stuff. Because what do they rely on? They rely on that they have builders, like most of the time the big national builders that buy their stuff when it's done. When you create like a 200 lot subdivision, right? You will not sell that to a mom and pop builder. You will sell that to a D.R. Horton, Pulte, or whatever, right? But guess what they do? Like in the current economy, where even the housing market is super slow, they postpone their contract dates and all that. And all these builders are right now sitting on debt and can't pay, and the developers are sitting on debt. And it's like I think when you're right now there that you need cash, focus really on flipping and wholesaling or do the assignment stuff, which is a lot of work, right? But it works to make 20, 30 grand a month. You can easily do that, just like pound the phone all day. And I know a bunch of guys that are crushing it with that. When you want to have it more consistent, not so much of a workload, build a systematized land business, right? Like use a little bit of technology, use the right partners to get into that. But, like everything that comes after that, just like you want to have established cash flow and financial reserves because these projects take time to pay you out too. And easily, when you also in the current environment think about 12 to 24 months timeframes, I think when you're not really experienced in the industry, went through a couple of cycles, do you want to go this risk, right? Does that make sense? Great.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah, you can have the transcript, Adam. That's no problem. Just send it after
Thank
the
you.
us. We'll
No,
send.
thank you. Thank you. No more questions for me for today.
Yeah. Okay, what is everyone doing for Christmas? That's a big
Nothing.
question. Nothing? Gene, you should do something.
Nothing.
You should go to
Nothing.
Mario. He told us today that he's preparing Christmas dinner.
Where's Mario? Where,
don't
I
know.
mean, I see you, I know you're there, but where are you in the country?
North Carolina here in Wilmington area.
Okay. No, I'm not doing anything.
What are your plans, Robin?
I'm flying to Germany on Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm
Merry
looking forward to
Christmas.
that. Haven't seen my family in 18 months, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Guys, when there are no more questions, I wish you a Merry Christmas. Spend some time off, breathe a little bit, and make some plans for the new year, right? It's a time of the year to do that. Spend some time with your loved ones, have a lot of drinks, get some nice presents, eat some good food, and I will probably do the same. And then I see everyone in 2026, where
See
you
you
can
next
crush it.
year.
And if you want to be part of our community, just like the link is in the chats, let's go. And see you on the other side, guys. Bye bye.
See ya.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas. Happy New Year,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Bye.